In this video, we are going to be talking about some messages from angels in regards to some rough patches that are ahead. I felt inclined to just share this particular message because it just came through so strongly. I mostly was trying to meditate on some information for myself personally, but then it became a more generalized message that I very much was pushed to share with all of you. My name is Catherine. I'm an energy healer, spiritual coach, and nurse practitioner. If you need personalized coaching or an energy healing from yours truly, then you can go to my website at catherineglassman.com, or you can email me at hello@catherineglassman.com. I am going to apologize to anyone that has gone to my website and filled out the contact form and it never got through. I have been having some malfunctions with my website. I appreciate your patience. I do apologize. Thank you so much for the messages. I am working on getting back to each and every one of you. So thank you. So as I was meditating, just trying to get some messages for me personally in my own personal life, it turned into a more generalized message that was meant for all of us. Now, please keep in mind that this is not meant to induce fear into anyone or anything like that. This is strictly to empower you. Anytime I share a video that has anything to do with, rough patches or things to be aware of or warnings of anything, it's not to get views because that's just not going to happen. It's not to induce fear at all because that is we don't need it. Fear does not serve us. Caution does serve us. And so this is more of a message of caution. And this message actually specifically comes from the ArchAngels. The ones that I was personally working with at the time were Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Jeremiel. Okay? And again, when I called them in to just talk to them and gain insight, I was doing it more for personal reasons, but then it turned into this. So that's why I'm telling you that this is who is giving us this message. So as I'm meditating, I'm like sitting there quietly with my eyes closed, and I'm like, okay, what is it that, we need to hear? Because initially I asked for what do I need to hear? And I got very clearly that this is not just going to be meant for me alone. And so when I asked, what is it that we need to know? I saw the words rough patches ahead. Okay. And honestly, my human was like, okay, what's new? Honestly, all you need to do is turn on the news, turn on social media, turn on your local news, right? We're all going through it. Things have really not been that easy, okay? So, all right. But they said, or they are asking us to not only just be mindful about the rough patches that are ahead, but really it's going to be more about the rough patches being in our own personal lives. So not necessarily collectively to a large community of some sort or to a particular country or it being about war, nothing on a larger scale. It's going to be on a personal level because it looks like we are going to be facing some personal decisions that we're going to have to make that are going to determine which way we are going as far as our soul's evolution. We are going to be forced to reevaluate things in our life that are not serving us anymore. And I used to wonder what people even meant by what serves you, right? Like, what does that even mean? Like, are all things supposed to serve me, right? And so what they mean is serve your spiritual evolution. Because if you are watching this kind of content, then that means that you are on a spiritual journey, or at least you're open to one. And so, obviously my content is not about getting rich or getting the guy or becoming beautiful, right? It's not serving in that way. It's things that are serving your spiritual path. This message is more of a reminder to take the time to think about the things that you need to start letting go of. And so, what are those things, right? Is it a relationship, a friendship, a job? Is it a lifestyle choice? Is it a food? Is it a location? Is it an item? Is it a house? And if you're watching this video, there's a good chance that you're watching it for a reason. Like, you needed to maybe hear it, right? And if that's the case, maybe you can think of something that you know that you need to let go of. So what is it? What is the thing that you're holding on to that is keeping you tethered to a lower frequency? So we're just being asked to closely examine these things, because removing the things that don't serve our spiritual evolution is going to make it easier and faster for the things that truly are meant for us and the things that really do serve us to come into our lives. It's removing things that don't feel aligned. And so when I got this particular part of the message, I pushed back a little bit. And my very human response was, okay, how do we determine, or how do we discern between what is serving our spiritual evolution versus what's serving us in a selfish way? Like, how do we know that we're supposed to get rid of something because it is the right thing to do versus getting rid of something because we are being selfish and ungrateful? And they gave me a one-word answer, and that word was peace. You will feel at peace. When you think about the thing that you're potentially considering, it shouldn't ramp up your nervous system. It shouldn't bring out like a chaotic energy within yourself or a confusing energy. It should bring you a deep sense of peace. Now, that's not to say that you will be in peace all of the time, right? So, for example, if you feel like you need to break up with someone, obviously breaking up with somebody is not very peaceful, right? But making the decision to break up with the person, if that decision brings you a deep sense of peace, then that is how you know that that is something that should be removed from your life. Another way to ask yourself is, does it feel right? Obviously using your intuition is not going to involve making a pros and cons list about a thing or a person or a relationship or whatever, but rather when you think about the thing, does it just feel right? Because what usually happens is something doesn't feel right, and then it leads us to making a pros and cons list. And usually when you get to the point of feeling the need to make a pros and cons list, then you kind of already have your answer. Now, that's not to say that the end outcome will be that you break up, right? That's not to say that, and I'm just using that as an example. Sometimes the end outcome will be different because you took the steps to break up with them. Does that make sense? Or we could use the example of starting a business. Sure, it might be nerve-wracking and you might be scared, but does it feel right? And what if you go for it and you start the business and then it fails? Does that mean that you were never meant to take that path? Of course not. It just means that you need to follow your intuition and you need to let go of things that don't feel aligned and make room for the things that do. So then I asked, well, okay, what does this have to do with rough patches? And they said, these are issues that you are fully aware of. And because you are aware of it, you have an advantage. This gives you a head start. You're basically given the playbook. You have been given the opportunity to get ahead while you can. Because when the rough patches come, and they will come, okay? Rough patches are just inevitable, right? If anyone has ever lived a life, then they can attest to the fact that rough patches happen. And so when they happen, you will wish that you would have taken the time to address some of the other things that you have already been aware of that are not serving you. And you're not going to be able to give the energy to address those issues because you have to deal with other things, like other circumstances that are happening in your life now. And on top of that, some of the rough patches can be avoided entirely by removing some of the things that are not meant for you now. You just want to take the opportunity to clean up your life when you have better control of it. I know that this can be hard. I know. Not only is life just hard, but being a spiritual person is hard because you know that you're living in this third dimension reality and you're being fed a lot of information that seems to be the status quo and that the majority of people in society agree on. But you see things a little differently. You don't really believe what you're being told, and therefore it almost kind of creates a little bit of tension between your friends and your family because you don't see the same things that they see. Sometimes it just creates a divide. But we're all going through just these hard, difficult times. But the advantage that you have as a spiritual person is your intuition. And although it can feel like you're in a fog sometimes and you don't exactly know what's happening, you don't exactly know where you're going, like it's just confusing, okay? All you need to do is just listen to your intuition, okay? From that intuition, make a decision about anything in your life. Whether it's relationships or a job, etc., right? Make the intuitive decision and then just take it step by step. You don't have to see where you're going. You just have to start walking. If you're in a foggy place, but you see a little bit of a trail in front of your feet, all you need to do is take it one step at a time. And if you keep going and with a little bit of faith, you will eventually make it out of the fog. And so towards the end of that meditation, I asked the angels if they had any final thoughts. And so I'm just going to read it to you verbatim from my notebook. They said, "We believe in you. Please believe in yourselves as much as we do. The country, the planet, the galaxy, the universe is counting on you. For all the work that you've done and for how far you've come, we are so grateful. And for all of the work that you've done and for how far you've come, we are so grateful. And we could not be more proud. So if you haven't heard that lately, the archangels say that they're very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of us. I mean, somebody's got to get us to the new earth, so who's going to do it except for us? So anyway, a short and sweet message for you guys. I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I will see you next time.